Which state borders the Miss Arkansas? Which state Montana? Which state board Tennessee? Which state Mississippi? Which state shares Wyoming? Which state borders the Great Lake? Wisconsin. Which state New Mexico? Which of these? Which state New Hampshire? Which state Maine? Which state borders Missouri? Which state Oregon? Which state California? Which Ohio? Which of these? Which state borders Alabama? Which state Missouri? Which state Connecticut? Which state borders Indiana? Which state Alaska? Which state New York? Which state shares a Delaware? Which state Washington? Which of these states? Which state Connecticut? Which state Oklahoma? Which state board Minnesota? Which state shares a Utah? Which state border Oregon? Which state Michigan? Which state Kentucky? Which state Maryland? Which of the Which of the Which state California? Which state Louisiana? Which of the Which state borders Virginia? Which of these? Which state shares Kentucky? Which state Pennsylvania? Which state California? Which of these states? Which of these? Which state borders Alaska? Which Minnesota? Which state Florida? Which state New Hampshire? Which of the? Which of these states? Which state Texas? Which Hawaii? Which state shares a land border with Idaho? Which state Oregon? Which state borders the New Jersey? Which state Mississippi? Which state borders Louisiana? Which of these? Which state Texas? Which state border Wisconsin? Which state Delaware? Which state border Illinois? Which state Iowa? Which state Washington? Which state Louisiana? Which state shares a South Dakota? Which of? Which state Washington? Which state shares a Tennessee? Which of the? Which state shares a border with Mexico? Arizona. Which of these? Which state border Hawaii? Which state shares a border with Arizona? Which state Nebraska? Which state North Carolina? Which state Oregon? Which state borders the Rhode Island? Which state borders the Florida? Which state borders Indiana? Which of the? Which state Arizona? Which state shares Ohio? Which state? Texas. Which state? Tennessee. Which state? Montana. Which state borders the Gulf of Louisiana? Which state shares Georgia? Which of these? Which state borders Missouri? Which state? Michigan.